The Solar Last Chance rally is about getting certainty for solar in New South Wales. The government has completely put solar on hold, and there is no activity at present around the solar industry. That means 5,400 jobs are now at risk, and 20,000 customers don't have certainty about their solar installations that are about to happen, and that has created an enormous amount of confusion and could potentially lead to businesses being closed and livelihoods lost. So the solar rally is about bringing all of those people together to send a clear message to government. We need certainty now. We need to be able to move forward as an industry, and the government urgently needs to respond to this problem. The biggest problem is that the New South Wales government has put this industry on ice. They have stopped all activity in the solar field in New South Wales, pending a review, and that review could be, well, any length of time. At the same time, the federal government is clawing back the support that it gives to household solar. So now, from July, the federal government will give 40% less support to people putting on solar panels than they did earlier. So those two things combined create the perfect storm, the worst possible environment for certainty for solar in New South Wales. Look, people should be really concerned. 5,400 jobs on the line, 20,000 customers who are set to lose, in many cases, non-refundable deposits. Small businesses holding $250,000 worth of stock that the suppliers won't take back and will actually send them broke. So this is a problem for small business. It's a problem for the community. It's a problem, in fact, for the whole economy, and these jobs are at stake. So it's something we should be concerned about, and the government should act on today. The New South Wales government is conducting a review into the solar bonus scheme, but their response has been to flick the switch and put the solar industry into the dark. So in fact, nobody knows what's going to happen in the near future, and the government's not giving any clarity or certainty about solar going forward. So here are literally tens of thousands of people that are now on hold at the whim of the New South Wales government. The urgent thing we require is some immediate certainty, a decision and announcement that will allow the solar industry to go forward while the government does a broader review. That's appropriate, but certainty as well as the review. Not just a situation we have today where we're just in limbo. Nobody knows what they can do. In fact, the whole scheme's been shut pending that longer term review. So we need an urgent announcement today that the industry can start again and give some people confidence to move forward with solar technology. With less government support, people will use less solar. People of Australia love solar. They get the idea of using the sun to power their homes and businesses. It's emissions free, it's silent, looks great, so people get it, but government support remains critical. In the years ahead, solar won't need government support, and we're looking forward to that day. But today, to drive the price down, we do need help from the government, and it's going to cause a big shift. We're actually going to transition to a low economy, carbon economy of the future. So yes, people will still do it, but at a reduced rate. With solar installations closing down, today 5,400 jobs are at immediate risk. These are small companies, mum and dad companies that are trying to make a living. And by flicking the switch and putting the solar industry into the dark, we really put those jobs at risk. And they are the dividend of actually investing in solar to this point. So they're the green collar jobs of the future. We don't want to let them go lightly, and the government should be acting to preserve those jobs, that economic activity, and giving the community some certainty around solar in the future. People can help show their support by first attending the rally. We need to get big numbers there to show to the government that this is a serious mainstream problem. The second thing they can do is to write to their local members and to the Minister for Energy, demanding that the government today announce measures that will allow the industry to go forward and not just leave us in the dark. And so people should get active. Attend the rally, write emails, phone your local member, and make sure your voice is heard. Well, at the rally, we're going to put a human face on this bad decision by the New South Wales government to just stop dead all solar activity in New South Wales. We're going to hear from small businesses who have invested in buying equipment that now they're left holding and they've got no one to pass it on to. We're going to hear from young working couples who are trying to do something right for the environment and hedge against the high electricity prices of the future. They've got approval to connect their system to the grid, but at the moment, the government said stop. You can't move, you can't do anything. So that has immediate implications on real people, on real businesses, on real lives. The government needs to get the message that this is a critical crisis and they need to respond immediately to give the industry a way forward so that we don't just leave all of these people and all of these livelihoods in limbo. The next move for the New South Wales government is to announce immediately a one-for-one net feed-in tariff. That means that the utilities will buy the electricity you produce for the same rate that you buy electricity from the grid. So that's the first thing. The second thing is those people under the 60-cent scheme, up to 300 megawatts, should be connected to the grid today. The government committed to 300 megawatts, and we're only at about 250. So that needs to happen immediately. And those people on the 20-cent scheme who had approval to connect should be allowed to do so. So they are three important measures that the government needs to take. If this decision is allowed to go through, it represents some of the poorest policy that we've seen yet in the solar industry in Australia. It represents a government that has found it too hard to deal with solar and so has just turned the whole scheme off. What a terrible precedence to set, where the people of Australia are looking for solutions to move to a low carbon future, where they're hedging against electricity pricing, where they're making an investment for their own future. So the government needs to have a pathway to allow this industry to continue. The people of New South Wales demand it. Well, the message that I have to those people thinking about whether they should attend is that this is the solar last chance rally. We've put the government on notice. We've told them what the implication will be if they don't immediately announce a range of measures to allow the industry to continue. They don't understand that within 2 weeks' time, small businesses in New South Wales will be calling in the liquidators. Jobs will be lost. About $25 million worth of deposits that have been paid by the people of New South Wales are right now on the line. Now, it's all very well to say it's going to take me months or a period of time to come up with a better policy. Well, that's not the problem. The problem is today, the problem is jobs and certainty for the taxpayers of New South Wales. So we call this the last chance rally. For a lot of our members, for a lot of the community who are interested in solar, this is the last chance in New South Wales. We can throw away everything that we've achieved up to this point, or we can get some certainty from the government. And we're not asking for handouts. We're not asking for special benefits. We're asking for a fair go, for a one-for-one ratio for solar, and for those jobs to be preserved, and some certainty over all that deposit money that was paid in good faith to be part of the scheme. So come along, because now is our last chance to act.